Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Today, 25th November, we are gathered here to remember a very important day, that is International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. What is the need of designating a special day for this cause? The reason is quite obvious, and we all are aware that how the women around the globe are suffering with different types of violence. Even I am suffering with 33% violence. Why I am so sure and how I can claim this? Because it is said that 1 in 3 women suffer with violence. Then, of course, if it is 1 in 3, then I am also sharing 33%. So no woman can say that if I am not suffering with the violence, it's nothing to do with me, or I hardly bother about this. Let the world face whatever they are facing. Dear friends, today it's someone else, but tomorrow it could be you, your daughter, your sister, your mother, or any close relative of yours, or maybe your colleagues. So what minimum we can do for this is that at least we have to speak up. We have to create awareness among the people that what exactly is violence against women and how we can reduce or how we can stop it. Before we go into the details of the precautions or the measures or the steps to stop it, let me invite the young speakers, the speakers who are still in their childhood or adulthood, those who have to face these challenges tomorrow in their personal lives. Let us listen to them. Let's try to understand what exactly they think about this violence. Or maybe because of this attempt, or maybe because of this initiative that we have taken on the platform of EduFam International, they'll be able to have courage to stop it in their own houses. Maybe their aunts, maybe their mothers, maybe their grannies, maybe their cousins are suffering with this, but they don't have courage to stop it, they don't have courage to speak against this. Today, we are here to give them the courage, the confidence, and make them understand that why it is bad to use any sort of violence against women. So our first speaker today is Maria Shams, who is a school student, and she is going to speak about International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women. Maria, over to you, please. Yes, Maria, just wait.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Maria Shams. I am a student of grade 8. Today here I am going to deliver a speech on the elimination of violence against women. So here we go. On November 25th, International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women is celebrated every year across the world since 1981. The date was selected to honor the Mirabal sisters, 3 political activists from the Dominican Republic who were murdered in 1960 by order of the country's rulers, Rafael Trujillo in 1961. Today, many women around the world are still subject to rape and other types of violence. And although violence against women and girls is major issue of today's world, fewer than 40% of the women who experience violence seek help of any sort due to stigma and shame surrounding these acts, and hence violence remain. And this year, theme by UN is Orange the World and Violence Against Women Now. And gender-based discrimination has to be stopped, and women should be equal rights. Ending violence against women and girls is critical to achieving sustainable development. Therefore, in order to raise awareness on this world issue, 25 November is dedicated by UN as International for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Now, hence, it threatens rights to which every woman and girls is the right to education, the right to work, the right to physical and mental well-being, the right to equality, etc. Hence, we all must join our hands together to make violence-free world for every woman by reporting and raising hands or our voice against such issues. We can and we should. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. It was really a beautiful speech. Thank you very much. And yes, of course, if the children like you, they are going to raise the voice, then certainly we are sure that tomorrow it's not going to happen with anyone. Now, our next speaker among the student is Abdur Rahman. Abdur Rahman is a student of grade 1, but he is mature enough to speak on this topic, elimination of violence against women. Abdur Rahman, over to you.
Hello everyone, my name is Abdur Rahman. Hello everyone, my name is Abdur Rahman. I study in grade 1 class. My school name is Nishangi Global School. Women's W for wonderful, O for only one who cares. O for only one who cares. M for most beautiful gift of God. O for adorable person. And for no one can be like her. Hello everyone. My name is Abdur Rahman. I study in grade 1 class. My school name is Nishangi Global School. My school name is Nishangi Global School.
Abdur Rahman, is there any issues? You are moving a lot. Is there any issue? Please sit at place and deliver.
औरत मोहताज नहीं किसी गुलाब की, वो खुद बागबान है इसी कायनात की. Yes, women are special for many reasons. They are the most sensitive and maternal people in the world. They are the primary caretaker of children and elders in every country of the world. Violence against women does not mean only physical violence. It also includes psychological, sexual assault, which can cause the victim to suffer in many psychological problems, and also include commit suicide. Generally, many acts of violence against women are often carried by criminals, not by strangers, but by the loved ones.
Thank you, Abdur Rahman. Thank you very much for your beautiful speech. And I know that you are out for some party. Still, you have delivered your speech. I am grateful that if children like you have the understanding of the violence, then naturally you are going to be an adult tomorrow and you are going to stop this. Thank you very much. Now our next speaker is Malik Taba, who is a hardworking, dedicated teacher from Jammu Kashmir. And I request Malik Taba to kindly speak about how to stop violence against women. Malik Taba, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. As we all know, we have assembled today over here for speaking about the International Day for the Elimination of Violence. International Day for the Elimination of Violence is recognized on the November 25 every year. It's United Nations International Day. They have recognized it because after 1960, their three sisters were murdered after that, and the campaign started from there till up to 16 days. It literally ends the date when there is Human Rights Day, International Human Rights Day. It's the campaign for the 16 days, and it has been recognized on 17 of 1999. It's working collaboratively with United Nations Development Fund for Women, which is universally called UNIFEM. The International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. It's an initiative of 16 days of activism, concluding on the day that commemorates the International Human Rights Day. This campaign aims to prevent and eliminate violence against women and girls around the world, calling for global action to increase awareness, promote advocacy. This year, campaign's theme is unite, to get united, and the color is orange because the orange color reflects the positivity. Activism to end violence against women and girls. This year will aim to mobilize all society to become activists for the prevention of violence against women, to stand in solidarity with women rights activists, and to support feminist movements. Violence against women and girls is one of the most widespread, persistent, and devastating human rights violation, underreported due to impunity, silence, stigma, and shame surrounding it. Because most of the women think if we speak about it, we will be shamed. We will be shamed in.
Malik, you are not visible. Can you switch on your video, please? The speakers are requested to kindly switch on their video. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, it's completely okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Violence against women and girls is one of the most widespread, persistent, and devastating human rights violation unreported due to the shamefulness, because women feel if they will speak about it, they will be shamed around their society, their neighborhood, their families, and whatnot. In general terms, it manifests itself in physical, sexual, and psychological forms. Intimate, there are many kinds of violence against the woman: intimate partner violence, sexual violence and harassments, human trafficking, female genitalian mutilation, and child marriage. These are all violence against women. Even I can say that women feel violence from their birth actually. When the woman give a birth to a girl child in a family, the violence against women starts from there actually. It's not only physical violence we are seeing, like some women are bruited, some women are murdered, and some women are raped, but also psychological violence is there against women. We can stop the violence by giving them equality, giving them the right to work, giving them the right to give birth to the child baby, even what not. We can put our hands together to stop this violence against women. We as a woman can stop this, because there are not only men who are putting the violence against the woman, but 80% of the women are putting again violence against the woman in their homes, in their society, in their marital homes where they are living, their in-laws. They are putting more of the violence in their homes, violence in their social works. Why? Where not is the violence against the woman. We have to put our hands together. We girls, we women have to put our hands together to stop the violence first. If we are initiating this for the men, no, we girls have to stop this first in our homes. We have to treat our sisters-in-law as ourselves. We treat as ourselves. We have to treat our co-workers as we treat ourselves at our place at work. Likewise, men will seek with us, they will see how women are treating women, then they will see what change could be there for them to treat women as an effective personality in their workplace, as an effective personality in their house. Because women are not the only devastated persons. They have the right to live, they have the right to work, because they are the we can say building blocks of the society. If there is no woman in the world, if there will be no woman, no men can live, no man can survive. There will be no birth of any human being. Women are the powerhouse of a society. Woman is the powerhouse of a society. We should respect them. We should love them. We should give them equality. Thank you so much. That's all I can say about this.
Thank you very much, Malik. Thank you very much. It was well spoken and you have spoken from the heart. Let me just inform you all that when I was working as a headmistress, one day I found a child came to the school and his face was like one side was full red. It was like about not red, but I can say it was maroon, like darker red. When I asked the child that how it had happened, the child said that father has slapped the child. Then I called home and then I asked them to come and to meet me. Then father didn't come, mother came. Okay. When I saw mother, even mother's under the eye was swollen and red. That was totally like sign of, I can say that she was also beaten up. It was quite obvious. Then I discussed with her, but she did not disclose anything, not a single word. Then I said, my dear sister, I'm also a woman, you are also a woman. I'm not worried about you because you are an adult. But my concern is major for my small child who is in my school. And you can suffer yourself, it is your choice. But we cannot permit anybody to make the child suffer. And that's why if you are not opening up, I'll call the police. Just imagine I'm talking to you 15 years ago. And 15 years ago, how I took courage to speak that, even I'm surprised today. I said, I'm going to call the police. Otherwise, if you really want to sort it out here, then I need to know the man, that why man has done this, and whether the man is like regretting and he will not repeat it in future, then it's okay, fine. Then the woman started crying. She opened up and she has narrated the whole story that I'm not going to narrate here. And then I said, next day, when you send the child, send with father, otherwise don't send the child to the school. And then next day the father came and father was really very, very regretful because he did so not in his full consciousness. He did so because he was drunk. Anyway, whether the person is drunk or not drunk, he is not permitted to raise the hand on either on the woman or the child. And that's what we have to at least understand, that it is a heinous crime and we have to speak up about this. And wherever we see, we have to speak, whether it is done by my father or by my mother or by my sister or brothers or in-laws or whosoever. So this is a small story that I have narrated just in front of you, because why EduFam International has taken this step today to celebrate this important day. Although there are many, many days, some we celebrate, some we not celebrate due to the time constraint, but why we have taken so much pain of preparing the students, preparing the people and asking them to come and join us. And I'm thankful that all of you have joined today, this evening. I can see many new faces. I can see many great people have joined this evening. I'm really thankful to them, but the issue is so serious. And that's why EduFam has taken this initiative. EduFam International Academy takes lots of other initiatives, like Lead or Led By is our leadership challenge program. Then we have MLKJ Club, that is for the public speaking. We have film program, that is Future Educational Leadership. This is exclusively for the teachers and the educational leaders. Then we have APJ Abdul Kalam Club for Innovation and Research, and we have Jahaniman, our channel, that is for youth development programs. Through our channel, we organize these programs. Today, this program has been brought to you by EduFam International. As you all know that I am a person who is very positive, and I always try to find out the solution instead of just crying over the spilled milk or just making Wawela that how many women are suffering and then bringing out the figures and data. I think that it's better if we are going to think about the solutions and we are going to speak about the solutions. First and foremost thing, what I think is that first of all, the one who is suffering, we have to believe in her. What I have seen sometimes, not always, occasionally, that when if any woman complains or says about this, immediately it is said, tumne kuch kiya hoga. Like somewhere you are at fault. The people try to make her feel guilty, that you must have done something wrong. That's why you were beaten up. That's why you were humiliated. That's why you were yelled at. And that's why you were treated in this way. First of all, we have to stop doing that. We have to believe in the victims, in the survivors, or we have to believe the person who is speaking about this, who is suffering. Then whatever we can do in our own capacities, we have to connect them to the people, because there are many NGOs, there are many people who are serving in this field. We have to give them their addresses, phone numbers, their contacts, so that they can reach to them and they can get the help from them. Then we have to first check with our family, whether in our family somebody is suffering with that. Like sometimes I have seen that, the brothers insulting the bhabis, but we hardly bother about that. We have to start from there. Or sometimes fathers saying sarcastic words to the mothers, and we hardly bother about that. So we have to start from there. From family, we have to start, we have to see. And it could be like vice versa also. At times, I don't say that men are not being victim of this. In some cases, even men are like that. In that case, also we have to raise our voice. Then the most importantly, we have to educate ourselves and educate our children what exactly violence is. Is it only beating? It's only hitting a person? Or there are different types of violences? Even not respecting the person and humiliating the person is emotional violence. And then after educating ourselves and our children, we have to spread awareness that how respect is important and how we have to embrace diversity, because the clashes starts when we don't accept the diversity. The other person is different than us, that we have to accept it. And in this way, when we have empathy and we understand each other, then we can very easily stop this type of activities from the society. Now, for this purpose, we have started one new initiatives for the youth empowerment. And the youth empowerment, we are going to start 1 week training programs where we are going to give the youth all the courage and confidence, all the understanding of their leadership capacity, how they are going to lead, how they are going to understand that they are the future of tomorrow. So if you think that this is important for your children, if you think that this is important for you, you are most welcome. You can always contact to us. I have given the WhatsApp number. Even I can share the WhatsApp number in the chatting box, so that always you can talk to us and you can be the part of our initiatives. So that's all about EduFam International and why we have conducted this program. In this, I welcome Dr. Zia Punekar, who has joined us from UAE. I welcome Dr. David, who has joined us from Singapore. And I welcome Dr. Muzaffar Hussain Ghazali. And I welcome all other guests who are here, like Aisha Siddiqa, Aisha Mahfouz, Rizwana, Niaz, Maria Shams, and Farheen, Sana Hashmi, and Nargis Jahan, Aisha Siddiqa. So these all are the people who are very much associated with EduFam International, and they are the ones who have always stood up for the occasion and to create awareness among the people. I also welcome Dr. Muzaffar Hussain Ghazali Saab, and I request him to kindly say a few words on this occasion. Dr. Muzaffar Hussain Sahab, over to you.
बहुत शुक्रिया आपका हलीमा सादिया साहिबा, आपने इस प्रेस्टिजियस प्लेटफॉर्म पर मुझे मौका दिया। और आपको मालूम है मैं यूनिसेफ के साथ काम कर रहा हूँ, और
जी।
अभी हैदराबाद में एक जर्नलिस्टों की कॉन्फ्रेंस थी 200 साल पूरे होने पर उर्दू मीडिया के।
जी।
तो उसमें एक स्पेशल सेशन यूनिवर्सिटी इंतजामिया से इजाजत लेकर के रखा था वीमेन एंड चाइल्ड राइट्स को लेकर के, और जो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है बिटवीन द गर्ल एंड बॉय, इसको लेकर के हमने एक पूरा सेशन ऑर्गेनाइज किया था। उसमें पंकज पचौरी जैसे लोग भी शामिल हुए थे, राहुल श्रीवास्तव, पंकज पचौरी, सुमेरा खान और फरहत रिजवी। एक विमेन स्टडीज की प्रोफेसर हैं यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर, वो भी उसमें शामिल थी। तो ये बहुत अच्छा है कि आप लोगों को अवेयर कीजिए, और रूढ़िवादिता जो है एक तरह से जो पुराने ख्यालात हैं, उन ख्यालात को छोड़ना पड़ेगा सोसाइटी को, तभी आगे बढ़ेंगे। जैसे कि मैं देखता हूँ कि हिंदुस्तान में हमारी आधी आबादी, उसको किसी भी मामले में दखल देने की इजाज़त नहीं है, या है तो बहुत ही लिमिटेड है। हिंदुस्तान में कोई विमेन की सोसाइटी नहीं है, उनकी कोई इस तरह की बाउंडिंग्स नहीं है। तो नतीजा उसका ये है कि समाज सफ़र कर रहा है, और बहुत तरह से सफ़र कर रहा है, जिसमें एजुकेशन है, अवेयरनेस है, वायलेंस अगेंस्ट वुमेन है, बच्चों के जो राइट्स होने चाहिए उसकी तरफ कोई ध्यान नहीं है, लैक ऑफ एजुकेशन है। तो तरह तरह से वो परेशानियां हैं। इस सबके चलते जो इकोनॉमिकल कंडीशंस हैं उस पर भी इसका बहुत ही बैड इफेक्ट आ रहा है, क्योंकि जब घर में बच्चे और फैमिली डिस्टर्ब होगी तो लोगों का काम मुतासिर होगा, काम मुतासिर होगा तो उनकी इनकम कम होगी, और इनकम कम होगी तो वो एक और टेंशन को क्रिएट करेगी। तो ये सारी चीजें एक दूसरे से इंटरलिंक्ड हैं। अगर आपकी ये बहुत ही मुबारक कोशिश है, इस दायरे को और बढ़ना चाहिए, और हर एक इंसान तक ये पैगाम जाना चाहिए कि आप सोसाइटी को तभी बेहतर बना सकते हैं, तभी तरक्की याफ्ता बना सकते हैं, जब सब लोग मिलकर काम करें और एक दूसरे को बराबर का पार्टनर समझें। अगर हमारे पार्टनर खुश नहीं है तो फैमिली कैसे खुश रह सकती है? तो ये जब तक पैगाम नहीं जाएगा और इस चीज को बच्चे और बच्चियां दोनों नहीं समझेंगे, तब तक काम बनने वाला नहीं है। तो आपका ये बहुत ही अच्छी कोशिश है, और इस कोशिश को जारी रखिए, और मैं जिस लेवल पर भी आपके काम आ सकता हूँ, मैं उसके लिए पूरी कोशिश करूंगा कि आपका साथ दूं।
जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। आपने बहुत ही मुफीद बातें हमारे सामने पेश की हैं। अल्लाह आपको मजीद तरक्की अता करे, और हमारे साथ जुड़े रहने के लिए हम आपसे गुजारिश करेंगे। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मुजफ्फर हुसैन साहब। और ख़ास तौर से जो आपने बात कही कि बच्चे भी इसमें, अभी हम औरतों की बात कर रहे हैं लेकिन बच्चे भी इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा मुतासिर हो रहे हैं। बच्चों के साथ भी जो है वो वायलेंस वो बढ़ता ही जा रहा है, कम नहीं हो रहा है। तो इसलिए हमें दोनों को साथ में लेके चलने की जरूरत है। थैंक यू वेरी मच। और इसी के साथ ही नाउ वी हैव अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ द एक्सप्लोरर एकेडमी। मे आई रिक्वेस्ट Mariam to kindly present the speech. Mariam is a student of the Explorer Academy, Okla. Mariam, we are waiting for you.
Okay, ma'am. As we know, As we know, remember the photo essay on the women's movement in your class 7th book. You read about how many in the 1980s women's groups across the country spoke out against dowry deaths. They protested against the failure of court to bring these cases to justice. The above High Court judgment deeply troubled women and they held demonstrations and filed a separate appeal against this High Court decision in the Supreme Court through the Indian Federation of Women Lawyers. In 1985, the Supreme Court heard this appeal against the acquittal.
मरियम बेटा, मेरी गुजारिश है आपसे, आप बुक्स पे मत जाइए, आप अपने दिल से बोलिए कि आपको पता है वायलेंस अगेंस्ट वुमेन क्या होता है। दिल से बोलिए आप कि आपने कभी किसी औरत को देखा उसकी बेइज्जती होते हुए, उसको कोई डांट रहा है, उसको कोई निगलेक्ट कर रहा है, उसको परेशान कर रहा है। बेटा मरियम, speak from your own heart. Do you think that it is right that women should be treated ill? Mariam, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
आपको क्या लगता है कि औरतों को के साथ बुरा व्यवहार करना चाहिए, उनके साथ बदतमीजी से बात करना चाहिए, उनको बुरा भला कहना चाहिए, चाहे वो कितनी गरीब ही क्यों ना हो, चाहे वो सड़क पे ही क्यों ना हो, चाहे वो घर में हो, चाहे वो कहीं पे भी हो, चाहे वो वर्क प्लेस पे हो? आपको लगता है कि उनके साथ ऐसा व्यवहार होना चाहिए?
नो मैम।
तो अगर कहीं हो रहा होगा तो आप क्या करेंगे? सोचिए इस बारे में, ठीक है? यहाँ पे मैंने बच्चों को इसीलिए बुलाया है कि बच्चे ये ना सोचें कि क्योंकि बच्चों को जब ईद में अच्छे कपड़े चाहिए होते हैं, खिलौने चाहिए होते हैं, मिठाई चाहिए होते हैं और उनको कहीं पार्टी में जाना होता है, तो वो कैसे अपने पेरेंट्स को मनाते हैं? Okay, they have all their means to convince the parents. So why not they come forward in this aspect also? Okay, when you see anything happening around, when you see anything happening in the house, at least there you have to speak up. At least you have to tell them that this is not right. I don't accept it. Okay, you cannot stop by hand because I know it is beyond your limitation, but you can stop by words. At least you can show your disagreement. At least you can show your displeasement that I'm not happy with this, whatever is happening in the house. Okay, so that's all for the children. Thank you very much. I hope the message is clear to you. And now let me invite David Haslam, who has joined us from Singapore. Yes, David. Mr. David, over to you, please. I think I am not audible to Mr. David. Mr. David, are you there? There is some network issue, it seems. Okay, now let me move to the
Thank
next.
you, Doctor.
Yes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys. Can you hear me?
Yes. Now you are audible.
Okay. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. My hat's not straight. Oh well. My name is David Haslam, and I'm an author, a business leader, and I have lived in 4 different countries in the world, in Europe, North America, and Asia. And so I have a fair amount of experience with women, and both young and old. And I've come across directly women who have suffered violence, and a whole range of different violence as well. My second wife was abused by a relative. She never told me who, but sexually. One of my best friends was abused by an uncle and had various other problems. Then I had a good friend of mine, somebody who worked for me for a long time, who was mentally abused. And the examples of it go on and on and on. But why is it going on? That's a question. How should we stop it and prevent it? Well, first of all, it's been going on since caveman days. Back in the days before civilizations were set up, educational facilities were enforced, things like that. Violence against women was easy because men are, on the most part, physically stronger than women, and therefore they can dominate and push women around and kids around, obviously. But beyond that, women and men are different in many ways, and as a male, I can safely say that women are superior to men in many, many ways. We can't have children, for example. The whole of humanity depends on women. And that makes a lot of men jealous, envious, and scared because they know that the women can control who gets to have babies with them. It's as simple as that. And some men just cannot stand that to this day, not just cavemen, but modern males. And because of that, they can be very jealous, envious, deceiving, deceptive, and violent towards women. So the best way to deal with that is education. Giving women a good education is a key factor in eliminating violence. But a lot of societies still don't allow that. They still don't allow women to have the same sort of quality education as men. And I won't name some of those countries, but I've lived in some of those countries that have policies like that, and some surprising places too. I worked with a guy for many, many, many years, and this guy was well educated and came from a very, very modern society where you wouldn't expect what he did to happen. But he took his wife's vote and voted for her in each and every election. He voted twice effectively. But the way the electoral system was set up in that country, and is still that way, I believe, allows that to have governmental systems as well, government of voting. Don't forget that the right to vote was only given to most women in the West 100 years ago or thereabouts. Women's suffrage has been a struggle throughout the world for many, many decades, or if not centuries. So that's another form of control and violence. It's not physical, or it's kind of mental violence in a way. But if women don't have the right to vote, or women don't have the right to be, then there's very little chance that societal and cultural violence will be abated. I'm very fortunate that I was born in a country where women have had power for millennia. I was born and raised in England, and Queen Bodison's in the 300s, so 1700 years ago. And even in India, when I was a small boy, Indira Gandhi was still in power. And that was a great step in the right direction for India. But there are many, many countries in the world that don't allow women to run for office or get to power to this day. And then in the home, Dr. Halima was talking about the example of the woman she dealt with, where the husband in the family was drunk. Being drunk or being on drugs or being overtired or whatever the case may be is no excuse, absolutely no excuse for violence against women of any sort. But that's a routine fact of life that many women and girls have to go through on a regular basis. So it's important that we change things from a societal level, a governmental level, and on a family and local level. And you yourself, I taught my boys, my sons, to not allow any sort of violence against women. Don't endorse it, don't cause it. And it's the job of the parents to lead the way, to demonstrate how you should respect and nurture and value women in all their roles and all their functions and everything they do. That's where it starts. If you do that at home, you do that at work, and you do that as society as a whole, we can eliminate violence against women. So starts with us. So don't allow it, don't condone it, and certainly never do it. Back over to you, Dr. Halima.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, my apology that David's network was not very effective, but if you have paid attention, then I am sure that you understood whatever he wanted to convey, because I understood each and every word. He has cited some examples from his own, like, near and dear ones. I am really surprised, because what we know is that we think that Asia, or maybe specifically in India, we think that these cases are quite high, and we are under this impression that maybe advanced countries, or where the people are more educated, there the women may not be suffering. But today we all come to know that it is universal problem, like everywhere it could happen, and even in the advanced countries also it's happening, and this is the responsibility of each one of us to stop it, whatever we can do in this regard. So thank you very much, David. Thank you. It was really quite impressive and informative speech. And now next, I would like to invite Sana Hashmi. Please unmute yourself, Sana. And what do you have to say about this violence against women?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And I feel the gender biasness, which I personally feel in every educated family. The woman gives birth more, one child, two child. If she is a girl, the woman is willing to give birth another child because she is waiting for a boy. And that is the time, that is the moment when the biasness starts. Because if we understand that if the woman is not healthy enough to nurture or to raise the children, what is the point? What is the point of giving birth more than one child, whether it is boy or girl? So first of all, we should aware our ladies in our family that whether it is boy or girl, every gender is equal, because only that moment. I want to give an example of my own cousin. She is well educated, and when she gave birth to a female child, she was just furious about knowing that Api, batao, how does it feel when a girl child is born? So I said, it is just that moment when you and other family member will feel that a girl is born. Actually, the whole life you are taking care a girl or a boy in equal manner. So there is no difference. This is also your child, and you have to raise her up in a well educated manner as you have raised your boy also. So this is the main thing, because when we will educate our women about their fundamental rights or laws, or they should be aware about what are the impacts will happen on their health if they are going to give birth more than one child only in waiting of a boy. So they are not going to nurture, or they are not going to raise a well educated or well behaved or good family. So this is the point. Actually, this is a vast topic, this is a vast issue. There are so many other violence that are taking place in our family, in our society, everywhere. We can see emotional violence, we can see psychological violence, physical violence. Even I didn't know about the economical violence also. So as I was just searching and researching the topic, I just came to know that there is economical violence also, because some men, what they do, they don't give the money to his wife. All the command remains in his hand only. They just give some money to buy eggs, butter, milk, only these things. They are limited. They are limited to that limit, that they have to buy only these things. But ma'am, they also has right to have money equal amount. They right to know the annual income of her husband. She has the right. And but she, if she is not aware, if she doesn't know that what is her fundamental right, so how would she will avail these facilities? So these are the point, ma'am.
You are right. You are right. Okay, Sana, thank you very much. Thank you. You have presented a very valid points.
Yes, ma'am.
2 points I have picked from your speech. One thing
Yes.
is that when a baby girl is born in the family, and when
Yes, ma'am.
everybody says or thinks, even
Yes, ma'am.
if they don't say, at least they think that next child should be a baby boy. So it starts
Yes.
from there. And in
Yes,
many
ma'am.
families, it has been seen that the people in the waiting of the boy, they give birth to even 4, 5, 6, 7 girls. And then lastly,
Exactly.
a boy is born in the family. And then they think that family is complete. So this is one thing. Secondly, very valid point you have raised, that economical violence. I know one of my very close friend, and she is highly educated, but she shared
Yes,
with
ma'am.
me that the moment she gets the salary, husband takes all the salary. And then monthly husband gives some amount from her own money. And then she has to beg for that. Even in the food also, husband controls. And husband gives them only 2 chapatis, saying that if you will eat more, you will become fat. So husband decides. And in some families, here in this, the example is of husband. In some families, I have seen even father-in-law decides. And I asked him, I was wearing one nice dress, so she was appreciating. I said, it's very reasonable price. It is not very expensive. I just got it for, I think, 750 or something. So she said, but you can at least buy with your own money. Here in our family, even we cannot buy. Our father-in-laws have to bring the dresses for everyone, and we have to wear it, whatever he brings. So these types of things, I was like really surprised. And I'm talking about like metropolitan city. It's not a village where I'm talking about that. In the village, if I give you the example, you will be even surprised. When I went in Jharkhand, in one of the very remote village, in my Karwa, so there we were speaking about like Islamic values. So there I was speaking about like full sleeve dress. So one lady was wearing like mega sleeve in the sari, because there mostly ladies, they wear saris. That is their common dress. So she was wearing mega sleeve, not only half sleeve, but it was mega sleeve, very short. I said, now I hope that next time you will change it. And when I come next time, though, you will be wearing full sleeve shirt, full sleeve blouse. Then she said, yes, of course. But if my father-in-law permits, because this is my father-in-law's choice that I have to wear mega sleeve. I was so shocked. I said, is your father-in-law going to reply to Allah on the day of Qiyamah? Or you are going to reply for yourself? So our ladies are also, I think, they don't understand that their life is their own responsibility, and they are accountable for their actions, and they are answerable for their actions. So they have to take the responsibility of their own lives. Thank you very much, Sana, for bringing out such valid points. Now, Arshad Nasir is with us. Thank you very much, Arshad, for joining us. And I'll give you the chance to speak up, but let me first invite Rizwana, who is waiting. Rizwana, over to you, please. Let us know, what do you think about violence against women?
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. And today I just want to women. Everyone explain about this. I explain. I want to give some example, some solution actually in a very short speech. Like girl should be physically strong, because so many violences are there. Okay, physical violence, social violence, or sexual violence, and psychological, economical. But we need to think about what is the solution. Okay, so many laws are there, many people are working behind the women but suffering. So we need to think, we should think what is the solution. The solution is girls should be strong physically, mentally, socially, economically. If a girl is physically strong, she can understand what's her limit. If she should be mentally stable, that she can take the right decision, and she should understand what she can do, what she cannot do, what is good for her, what is not good for her. Okay, and she should be socially active, that she will know her rights. She should not depend on anyone. She has a right to education. Right to education, I don't know what others are thinking, but in my view, every girl should be self independent depend means she should get a professional degree and she should involve in any profession, or else she should do something like she can earn money. She should not economically, she should not depend on anyone. So I think we will come out from this situation, the girls will come out from the situation. We are talking about the violence. So the girl should work on herself. She should understand how she come out from these problems. So
Thank you, Rizwana. Thank you very much for your valuable points. And but
thank you, ma'am.
here little bit I differ from one point where you said that she has to be like economically independent. That's a good suggestion on your part, but we should at the same time understand that the financial responsibility of a family lies on men basically. If women are helping them in that, that's good enough, but that doesn't mean that, you know, there are many violences happening at the workplace as well. So earning money will give them relief from the violence, maybe to some extent, but I don't think that it is going to be like fully freedom from the violence, being a working woman. But your suggestions of like being emotionally stable, physically strong, healthy, fit, and fine, that is really wonderful and fantastic idea. I think even when a man raises the hand, the woman should be strong enough to hold it.
Exactly, ma'am. My
And
concern is
stop
this
it.
only.
Yes,
Women
yes,
should
yes.
stop at that moment,
Yes.
because people will not come at that time. She should take the action at that time, at that moment.
Thank you very much, Rizwana.
Thank you so
And
much,
now,
ma'am, for giving me a
yes,
chance.
you are
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
Now we have two distinguished speakers. We have Dr. Zia Punekar, who has joined us from UAE. Dr. Zia Punekar, what do you think about violence against women and how we have to eradicate this? Dr. Zia. Are you there, Dr. Zia? I'm sorry, I think we are not able to reach to Dr. Zia. Then, Arshad, would you like to speak on this topic?
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Yes, please.
Dr. Zia, are you back? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Can I speak a few words on that?
No, I have invited you to speak, in fact.
Okay.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Actually, you know, the violence on women, of course, it is a very, very, condemnable, thing in the world. As you know, we know that, I have 3 daughters and a son myself, and I feel that daughters are, more loving than the son. My personal views I'm talking about. And moreover, what we have to do, how we can eradicate a different way is, you have to identify the people. You should not, what do you say? The girl should not be married to a person who is greedy or who don't have, what do you say, empathy and sympathy. So because we have seen, in my family, the girls are regarded as, somebody told me, I'll just give an example to you. For my first daughter, she just missed, the free seat. So I have to pay some, semi government, fees, that is 50 lakh of rupees for her MBBS. So 50 lakhs and some, in my families, a little far, relatives, they told me, why you spent 50 lakhs on a girl? She will go away to her husband's house. I told her, wherever she goes, she is my daughter. That
Yes.
sort of, people, we have to identify the dry people who are, they are not, it is not that they are only violent against the women. They are violent against anybody. But since women are good and they are sympathetic and empathy and they are listening, they don't have, what Mrs. Rizwana told, that since they are not raising their hand because they respect the husband. So because of that, these people, unnecessary trouble them. So the main reason here is what I'm going to tell you. We have to, identify the dry people, the ruthless people, the greedy people, and, make them understand that we should not give our daughters, even though that person is a big shot or a PhD or a professor or whatever he is. So we should not give our girls to such people. So that much I can say, because they are not only violent to the girls. In the office, for male people also, they are troublemakers. They are troublemakers, but they are not violent there because, with male they cannot fight. So, because they feel that, the goodness of the ladies, they are thinking that she is weak. It is not like that. Of course, God is there to, what I feel is, my 3 daughters, if I have another 3 also, I'll be very happy to
Thank you.
have
Thank you
that.
very much,
Yes,
Dr.
yes.
Zia Punekar. Thank you. By
Yeah.
your own example, you have elaborated the point, and you made me envious of you, because you said that the daughters are more caring about their parents than the sons.
Yes, yes, of
Unfortunately,
course.
I have only 2 sons, so naturally I am now, I feel envy. So, anyway, now I have got 2 daughters as well, because both the sons are married and I got 2 daughters. So now
Mashallah, very good.
the family is complete. So I
Very
have
good,
2
very
sons and
good.
2 daughters.
Very good.
Okay, so Dr. Khushnood, I think you are raising the hands. You ask some questions or you want to share your thoughts? If you want to share your thoughts, I'll request you that let Arshad Nasir speak first, and then I'll request you to share your thoughts. Please, Arshad Nasir, go ahead.
Hello, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
First of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm trying to switch on my video, but I'm not able to, so that you can see me as well. But give me a second, maybe I can. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't think I know how to switch my video on. But yeah, first of all, thank you very much for having me. I should forewarn you that I'm not an expert at all, but I do have a very strong view on this. And one of the things that I wanted to share with everybody over here is that the issue actually stems from how we actually view women as well in our society. So there's a lot of basically violence out there. There's as you were saying, there's economic basically violence, there's physical violence out there, emotional, and so on and so forth. But I think it all stems from, in my very humble opinion, of how we view a woman to actually begin with. If we see them, say, for example, for lack of a better word, as an object, then you can get away with anything, right? Because then you actually own a human being, and it's not a human being with its own rights and like attributes and so on and so forth. So if we can, from a very young age, inculcate that acknowledgement in boys specifically, to understand that women are obviously equal, and they have their own like rights and so on and so forth, then we could maybe to a certain extent work on stemming a lot of these issues from the beginning itself. I guess that's something I wanted to share with everybody. A lot of the ideas are really, really good out there, but it's a really systemic issue, as I'm sure you would agree with me, Dr. Halima. It's not something you can change overnight. These economic issues that women to actually be stronger to work and so on and so forth, you have to have a whole system in, like you basically place to actually teach them, educate them, get them into the workforce and so on, and that's not going to happen overnight. I hope that helps, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, Arshad. And I'm sorry I didn't introduce you. Will you please take 1 minute more time to introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Arshad Nasir. I was raised in the Middle East. I live in Australia now. I work as a financial planning and analysis manager for a cloud consulting firm. I'm based in Sydney, and Dr. Halima is my aunt, actually. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Arshad. And yes, you have rightly said that it is like the system problem, and we have to think in this regard that we have to just go back to our roots and what our value system is and how we are looking at the women. That's really going to solve this issue. Thank you very much for sharing your valuable thoughts, and especially from a young boy like you, if it is coming, then naturally it's going to be a very good sign for the future that maybe the women in the future are not going to be sufferers, because when you have this type of thoughts, naturally you are going to practice in your practical life.
And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're
now
welcome.
We have the last speaker for this evening. We have Dr. Khushnood. Yes, Dr. Khushnood, over to you, please. Dr. Khushnood, are you there? I have a very close friends here. My close friend here, Aisha Mahfouz. Aisha Mahfouz, क्या आप कुछ कहना चाहती हैं?
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Khurshid, what was this? It was a practical show of the violence, or what?
Am I audible to you?
Yes, now you are audible. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah.
That was a really good one.
फिलहाल तो अभी कुछ नहीं, बस सिर्फ ज्वाइन हुई।
Okay, Aisha, thank you very much. And now I think Khurshid has some network issues. That's why we are unable to listen to Khurshid, sir. So thank you, everyone. Now this is the last call for the speakers. Yes, Dhanlakshmi is there. Dhanlakshmi, what do you think about violence against women? Dhanlakshmi from Chennai. Miss Dhanlakshmi. Are you there, Miss Dhanlakshmi?
Yes, ma'am, she's there.
She is there, and I am asking her to unmute as well. I think she is not physically present, or maybe there's some network issue. Okay, no problem at all. Dhanlakshmi, we reserve your right of expression. You can share with us next time whenever we are going to have this program. So now this is the time when I am going to thank each one of you, those who have shared their valuable thoughts with us. With this note that we are going to have 1 week leadership training program for the youth, especially on this topic that how they have to take up the responsibility and accountability in the society. They are not for themselves, they are for the people, for the community. And that's what we have to now drill into the minds of the people, that we are not here to live alone. We are not here to live only for ourselves. We are here to establish the truth. We are here to establish the justice. And that's what has to be, that's what is not being taught in the school. And that's the reason why we are going to start 1 week leadership program for the youth. With this note, I thank each one of you present here. Thank you, David. Thank you, Zia. Thank you, Rizwana. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Zikra. Thank you, Aisha Siddiqa. I'm sorry, Aisha Siddiqa, I didn't ask you to speak. Do you want to speak, Aisha Siddiqa? कुछ कहना है आपको? वालेकुम अस्सलाम जी, फरमाइए, कुछ कहना आपको?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, आज का प्रोग्राम बहुत अच्छा था मैडम। सबने बहुत अच्छी सी बातें कही है। हमको हमारी भी हिफाजत करना चाहिए। यानी जब हम आए दुनिया में तो लड़का और लड़की में भेदभाव नहीं करना है। हमको सबके हुकूक बराबर अदा करना है। ये हुकूक हमको बचपने से ही सिखाए जा रहे हैं, तो हम आगे चल के भी इसके ऊपर कायम रहना है। बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम था माशाल्लाह से। जो सुने हैं अल्लाह ताला सबको सुनकर अमल करने की तौफीक अता करे। ये हमने बहुत सारी बहुत अच्छी-अच्छी चीजें सुनी है, बहुत अच्छी चीजें कह रही हैं। जिसके ऊपर जुल्म हो रहा है अल्लाह ताला उसको नजात दे। आमीन। और जो हम सुने और कह रहे हैं उस पर हमको भी अमल करने की तौफीक दे और सुनने वालों को भी। बहुत अच्छा था मैडम। आपको अल्लाह ताला जज़ाए खैर दे, जो आप ऐसे प्रोग्राम करती हैं। आप सबको एक जगह करती हैं, सबके ख़यालात से खुद अपने ख़यालात से हम सबको आगाही करती हैं। बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम था माशाल्लाह। सबको जज़ाए खैर दे अल्लाह ताला। सबका बहुत शुक्रिया जुड़ने के लिए यहाँ पर, और जो सुनेंगे और अमल करेंगे अल्लाह उनको भी
इंशाल्लाह। थैंक यू वेरी मच आयशा, जज़ाकिल्लाह खैर। जी, आपने बहुत अच्छी दुआ कराई अभी, और आपने बहुत अच्छी तरह से ये बात पेश की कि अल्लाह ताला सबको अपनी हिफाजत में रखे, और हम सबको अपनी हिफाजत खुद भी करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि वहीं पे अल्लाह मदद करता है जहां हम अपनी मदद खुद करते हैं। So before I conclude the session, let me just ask Dr. Khurshid has come back. It seems that he is willing to speak. Yes, Dr. Khurshid, go ahead.
I thank all जो भी लोगों ने बड़े अच्छे व्यूज रखे हैं, तो बहुत अच्छे से सब लोगों ने रखा है। बट द थिंग व्हिच आई थॉट इज डिफरेंटली, एक्चुअली यहाँ पर जो एक्चुअली ये इसका जो बेसिस है वो साइकिक प्रॉब्लम है हम सब लोगों में। सो आई थिंक इन दिस डायरेक्शन, तो यहाँ पर हम लोगों ने इस तरीके की सोसाइटी डेवलप कर ली है जिसमें हम लोग मटेरियलिस्टिक हो गए, और इमोशन से वी आर लेकिंग द इमोशन। आई थिंक so we should improve our emotions. Actually, some egos are there in the men, and some dictatorial behavior also there in the men side. So actually the women's are sensitive, and the motherhood is also there, so they take the soft command or anything as in their heart. So this should be eradicated. It cannot be eradicated easily, so it will take time. Actually we should promote our ladies to be independent in their life, or show their in-laws or parents that they have the caliber to develop themselves for the rest of their life. Actually the basic purpose of the life is very, very different. Actually this is what that we should actually at the end of day we have to be independent. So the women should be the independent financially and emotionally. Actually many women are very, very dependent on their parents and their in-laws. In-laws means husband or their parents, so in-laws parents. So this should be the eradicated from the childhood. Actually, the basic thing is that when we are grooming our child, we are just actually depending our child to ourselves only. So it should not be there. We should promote our child to be independent, to go outside in the market or and their basic problem, I think so. Easy task. We should child that you have caliber. By this thing, we slowly but very strongly go further and develop our society in that direction, which will promote our society and our I think our mankind as in the direction that it will nurture in good direction. This is my deep feeling inside actually. So I am speaking also. The psyche of male is very strong, dictatorial and egoistic. On the other side, the psyche of women are very sensitive and motherhood. So this is the basic problem, and it only be eradicated by the parents on side. So if we are am I audible to you?
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Khurshid. We understood what you want to say, that it is male egoism that is provoking him to take this type of steps against the women, and that we have to train our boys in the families, in the house from the childhood, that how they have to respect the women in whatever form the women are. And
बहुत बड़े एक साइकोलॉजिस्ट थे डॉक्टर फ्राइड, तो उन्होंने ही इस तरीके की ये दिया था एक सिस्टम कि अगर हम अपने बच्चे को इस तरीके से नर्चर कर रहे हैं, then he will become independent in their life. The thing is, जो चीज आज है, this is not what, this is because of the parenting. The parenting issues are there.
Yes. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया डॉक्टर खुर्शीद साहब. And now with this we come to the end of today's program as the time is running short. So I request you all, I'm unmuting everyone. We have to just do the last part before concluding, that everybody has to unmute, and then we all have to say together that zero tolerance to violence. And here I am using violence, not I'm using against whom, against anyone, whether it is against women, it is against men, it is against child or anybody. Zero tolerance to violence. We have to speak up together, everyone. So please unmute yourself, everybody, and say it one by one and together. Yes, David, please unmute yourself. Dr. Khurshid, unmute yourself. Lakshmi, unmute yourself. Aisha, unmute yourself. Aisha Siddiqa, unmute yourself. And then Aisha Mahfouz, unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself, David. David, unmute yourself. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Zero tolerance to violence. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us.